Hey everybody, I am going to use Christina Aguilera's chart to answer some of the questions that Demetra George is asking us on page 111. So, those of you that are in the book club, you can follow along yourselves on page 111. And those that are not in the book club, you'll still learn something from this. So, the first question she asks is, what is the sect of the chart? And the sect of the chart is day or diurnal chart because the sun is above the horizon. The imaginary yellow line shows you the division of the chart. It starts at the ascendant, which tells us when you were born, and is carried over to the same degree in the descendant. Number 2, the planet. Enter the zodiacal sign and degree of each planet. Well, let's start with the moon down in the fourth house. The moon is at 14 degrees in Taurus. Jupiter is at 8 degrees in Libra. Saturn is at 8 degrees in Libra. Venus is at 0 degrees in Sagittarius. Mercury is at 19 degrees in Sagittarius. The sun is at 26 degrees in Sagittarius. Mars is at 20 degrees in Capricorn. Question number 3, the sect of the planet. Jupiter and Saturn are diurnal planets. They always are in every chart. And Venus and Mars are the nocturnal planets, and they always are in every chart. Question 4, same sect or contrary to sect? If the sect of the planet is the same as the sect of the chart, enter same. If the sect of the planet is different than the sect of the chart, enter contrary. Jupiter is the same sect as the chart, and so is Saturn. This is a day chart or diurnal sect chart because the sun is above the horizon. Saturn and Jupiter are on Team Sun. Saturn and Jupiter are the diurnal planets, always in every chart. So when you have a day chart, they will always be on the team. Venus and Mars are contrary to the sect of this chart because they belong to a nocturnal chart, which the luminary is the moon. If this was a night chart, then they would be the more powerful team of planets, but in this chart, they are not. Number 5, benefic or malefic. And we're only going to look at Venus, Jupiter, Saturn, and Mars. So Jupiter and Venus are benefic planets always in every chart, and Saturn and Mars are malefic planets always in every chart. Number 6, do they rejoice by hemisphere? The diurnal planets, which are Saturn and Jupiter, always want to be in the same hemisphere as the sun, and Mars and Venus always want to be in the opposite hemisphere as the sun. In this chart, Saturn and Jupiter are rejoicing by hemisphere, and Venus is not rejoicing by hemisphere because she is in the same hemisphere as the sun, and she doesn't want to be. Mars is rejoicing by hemisphere because Mars is not on the same side as the sun. And number 7, are they rejoicing by zodiac sign? All fire and air signs are diurnal signs or day signs, and all water and earth zodiac signs are nocturnal. So, Jupiter and Saturn are diurnal planets, and they are in diurnal zodiac sign, the diurnal zodiac sign of Libra, because it's an air sign. So they are rejoicing by zodiac sign. Venus is in a fire sign, which is Sag. It's in the fire sign Sagittarius. So Venus is not rejoicing because it prefers to be in a water or earth sign, and it's not. Mars is rejoicing by zodiac sign because it is in an earth sign. Number 8, rejoicing by solar phase. If the planet rejoices by solar phase, diurnal planets of the morning, nocturnal planets of the evening, then enter yes, otherwise no. Diurnal planets in the morning or nocturnal planets in the night, look, how do we determine? Look to the orange line that I drew from the 11th house sun placement across to the 5th house. All planets to the right of that line tell us they rose before the sun, and therefore they are morning stars or morning planets. Mercury, Venus, Saturn, Jupiter are in the morning solar phase in this chart. The diurnal planets Jupiter and Saturn are rejoicing in this morning masculine solar phase. Venus would prefer to be in the evening solar phase, which is to the left of the sun and is after the sun has risen. It is the evening phase, and we call planets to the left of the sun as evening stars. So therefore, Venus is not rejoicing by solar phase. Mars is a nocturnal planet, and it is rejoicing as an evening star. She then tells us that the most important criteria, and I'm going to read her words, when judging a planet is whether the planet belongs to the same sect as the chart. Day charts will always have the Sun, Jupiter, and Saturn as day sect teammates, and a night chart will always have the Moon, Venus, and Mars as the night chart team members. So the sect of this chart is diurnal or day, and Jupiter and Saturn belong to the diurnal sect. So these planets are the most powerful, or they're on the team of the sect. And so they, along with the sun, dominate the chart. The nocturnal planets do not. However, the malefic out of the sect of this chart, which would be Mars, has the potential to cause the most damage. Anyway, that's it. Hope it helped. Bye.